Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Well, even some of the most beautiful places can use a little sprucing up. Dana Point Harbor, case in point, a revitalization project going on there. Orange County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett here to talk about that and among other things, and we appreciate you being here.
Great to be here today.
Yeah, it's been a long time in the making for the Dana Point Harbor to make some changes. It's going to function a little better and look a little better.
Oh, absolutely. This has been a project that's literally been in the works for almost 20 years. So it's nice to see it really come to fruition now and move forward.
Where does it stand right now as far as the process and the progress?
We've gotten through the RFQ phase of the process, which are requests for qualifications. We're now in the RFP phase of the process, and the deadline, I believe, to respond is about in the May timeframe of 2017.
For those of us who love to go down there with a cup of coffee in the morning and see what's going on, what can people expect to see in the changes of Dana Point Harbor?
Well, some of the master plan includes basically all new docks on the water side, a two-tiered parking structure, potentially a boat barn or stack storage for boats, dry dock storage, and then up to 12 new commercial core buildings and a new hotel.
What does this mean for boat owners?
Well, we're going to get boat docks that are going to be ADA compliant, finally, and I think they're going to have more options with regard to storage of their boats, either on land or on the docks.
Is the prices going to change for the moorings there?
Well, with an improved harbor, I think the pricing structure may change a bit because we're going to have all new fixtures and docks and things in place, so the pricing structure will probably change. We're utilizing a different approach for the harbor project. When I got elected as a county supervisor, we had the option of having this as a county-led project, which meant that the county would basically handle the project from start to finish. And I met with our Public Works Department, and they said, well, we're going to have to increase staff by about 35%. And I said, just stop right there. We want to keep government small and efficient, and government should do what it does best. The County of Orange, we're not in the business of building out harbors and boat docks and hotels. And so we have a P3 arrangement, public-private partnership, and the private sector partner will actually build out the harbor project and provide a revenue stream to the county.
And who is doing the hotel?
We don't know yet because that's part of the RFP process. So once the final firm is selected, then we will give them free rein to move forward on the project.
What kind of disruption will the rehabilitation create down in the harbor?
We're going to try to stage it in phases so that there is minimal disruption and the businesses can stay open during the construction process.
And completion date?
It's a 5-year project, start to finish.
So twice as long, twice as much?
Hopefully that's not the case.
Okay. You know, the Dana Point Harbor isn't the only thing getting a spruce up. In fact, the Orange County Animal Shelter is going to be moving completely and has already broken ground on a new facility in the city of Tustin. What can we expect there?
Well, I'm very excited about the animal shelter. The current animal shelter that we have in Orange is 76 years old. It really needs to be replaced. And now in Tustin, we are putting forth a brand new $32 million animal shelter project. We're already pouring the concrete pads, and by the end of this year, we will actually have our ribbon cutting ceremony for our new animal shelter.
Wow, $32 million. I hope it has a swimming pool. That's a lot for an animal shelter. What's it going to be like for the people who go there to adopt a pet?
I think that people who come into the animal shelter, the new animal shelter, are going to be really pleasantly surprised. We're going to have it set up so that it's warm and welcoming for the public. And for the animals that are going to be at the animal shelter, we're really working on some unique and innovative programs to keep them stress-free, keep them healthy and happy, and make sure that we've got a higher level of adoptability. So those are some of our goals. We're working with a very well-respected veterinarian, Dr. Robertson, who has some great ideas, and we're implementing those ideas in our new shelter.
You know, we do love our animals, but we love our people too. The at-home social services is under a bit of stress right now because of financing. Explain to us how things have changed, how the state has pushed some of this responsibility to the local level, to the county, to pay for a lot of stuff.
Right. Well, as part of the Continuing of Care initiative, we want to make sure that people have access to services at all different levels. So we want to keep them as self-sustaining in their homes as long as possible. And that's why the in-home support services is such a great program. Because if we can keep people in their homes with caretakers, it's much more cost-effective in the long run. And it's better for the actual the patients rather than going to a skilled nursing home, which is over $10,000 a month, or going to a CBAS center, which is $2,200 a month, or through the PACE program at $6,500 a month. So keeping people in their homes as long as possible is really the best approach. Now, the IHSS program, or In-Home Support Services program, is under fire right now because this was a program that we all thought the state was going to take over. And now we're finding out that the state may not take over this program and push it back down to the county level, which means that the counties would take the burden of basically performing the functions under the IHSS program.
So what increased cost is that expected to be for the county that you are expecting the state to pay?
Well, for the County of Orange for year one, it's a $38 million price tag.
And an instant change if that happens.
Yes, and my concern is that there's a ripple effect, because if we have to pay the $38 million to fund this program from the county perspective, it's going to impact a lot of our other programs and departments like probation and some of the other social services that we provide to the community at large. So there's that ripple effect of having to fund this mandate of $38 million and how we're going to balance our budget at the county and what programs are going to be affected.
Is there anything the county can do to prevent this from happening? We see more and more of this happening. The state trying to say, I don't want to pay this bill. I'm going to push it down to the county level, get it off of our books, and then the county can pay. We see this in the jail realignment that happened years back, and it made us, locally, the county, pick up the tab for housing inmates who normally would spend time in a state prison.
That's exactly right. We are still feeling the effects financially and public safety wise with regard to AB 109, which was the early release of prisoners. And the effect to the counties from a public safety perspective has really been dramatic. Crime rates have gone up. And from the financial impact for the contract cities in Orange County, it's becoming increasingly more burdensome for police services to really adequately patrol and make sure that we keep our residents safe in our cities. And AB 109 is one of those factors that has to be taken into consideration, and that was pushed down to us from the state level, and we're having to deal with the effects at the local level.
So how then do you cope with this at the local level with the in-home services and the jail realignment, those additional costs?
Well, we do everything we can to have a voice in Sacramento. So I know that the counties that are being affected are up in Sacramento with their advocacy teams. We're meeting with the governor's staff, and we're meeting with legislators to try to get a fix to this problem up in Sacramento so that we don't have that major burden coming down to us at the state, from the state down to the local level.
Do you think locally it means cuts to these services, or do you think it means a reshuffling of the general fund to just balance your county budget in different ways?
Well, at the county level, if we have to take on the full burden of IHSS at the local level, it means that we are going to have to pull funding from some of our other programs. But one of the other programs that could be where we would have funds depleted would be from perhaps some of our programs in probation. Well, that again affects the level of public safety because we are still dealing with the effects of AB 109. So we have only so many dollars to go around. We've all got constrained budgets to work within, and we've got to be very vocal in Sacramento to make sure there's a balance with regard to what the state should handle and what the counties should handle.
And being vocal here so people know what's going on as
Absolutely.
well. Orange County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, thank you for being here and
You're very
sharing this
welcome.
information, and we're glad you could join us too. I'm Leslie Leyton.